Hello, beloved. Welcome back to God-Given Health. So, as many of you know who have been following me for a long time, since 2010, that's how long I've been on the internet, have had my website up, and been here on YouTube. I've been on YouTube since 2013. For those of you who may not know, but I've been on the internet. I have my newsletter since 2010, but I have been in the publishing industry since 1998. So anyway, for those of you who have been tuning in here on God-Given Health and following me on Facebook and Twitter and through my newsletter, The Godly Woman's Guide, you know how I feel about mainstream medicine. And so I don't know if I've ever actually went into detail on why I don't like mainstream medicine, mainly because of bad experiences with the mainstream medical. And I don't want to point out to any specific person. I believe it's just the whole system. Mainstream medicine has let us down as patients or consumers or people, humans, how they have let us down in general. And so the main reason I don't like it, like I said, bad experiences since for a while now, mainly here in the United States. My husband was in the Air Force. I don't remember having any bad experiences with the doctors when he was in the military. I remember them being very cordial and thorough and caring. And so anyway, not too long ago, as many of you know, I suffer from depression. Sometimes I have panic attacks, and so anxiety attacks because I was abused. I'm going to go in more detail in another video on that for those who probably going through the same thing or went through the same thing. So anyway, I went to the emergency room to one of my used to be favorite hospitals. Whenever I got sick or something like that. When I broke my leg, I remember when I broke my leg over a decade ago, I went to this hospital here where I live. And man, the doctors there were so kind and caring, and they did a really good job with my leg and just followed through everything. It was just to get an A+. Excuse me, everything was excellent. And then, however, the last time I went, we just came through this pandemic. And so I understand we just came through the pandemic. We're still not totally out of the pandemic. And so I went to the ER and there was no doctor there. There was no doctor. I specifically asked for a doctor. And the nurse told me that the person I was seeing was a doctor, but it wasn't a doctor. It was a nurse practitioner, which is not a doctor. It's not the same thing. And so I didn't have too great of experience there. They made the patients wait in the lobby, which is not good. I specifically remember one guy coming in and he was screaming. He must have been in so much pain. It appears he was in a lot of pain. The way he was moaning, I mean, it was loud, louder than a baby crying. And so it was very loud. And this guy, they finally checked him in. Then they brought him in the back. And they actually sent him out still moaning. And I'm like, whoa, this is not good. And so that's just one experience with the mainstream medical. It's getting worse. I thought it was bad 10, 20 years ago. It's gotten worse. And my husband, we're blessed with good insurance. My husband, God has blessed him with a good job. We have good insurance. And it's still hard to find good medicine. Quote unquote, good medicine. The system, I don't blame the doctors. I don't blame any specific person. I believe it's just the whole system. Laws are no good if they're not benefiting the people. Laws should benefit people, but in general, here in the United States, and I'm sure it's probably the same way around the world, the laws, they hurt people. They're unnecessary. A lot of them are unnecessary, and a lot of them hurt people, not benefit, or they harm people, or there's just no benefit. It just don't make no sense. And so I don't want to go into detail into that because I can ramble on that for the longest. But I don't want to give the impression that I'm not blessed, that God don't take care of me, because none could be further from the truth. But I just want to talk about mainstream medicine and how it's a failure. Overall, it's a failure. It's good for emergencies, but overall it's a failure. And so anyway, so just as far as that story go, they even left me waiting outside in the lobby as they was taking care of me. And it was just like, and I asked for a bed because that's how bad I was feeling. I said, do you have a bed? They told me they didn't have no beds, but when I went back there for them to take my blood, I saw at least 2 or 3 beds open. No one was lying in them. Maybe they were saving them for something else, but they could at least put that guy in one of the beds. He couldn't even stand up. He was in so much pain. And so this was a great hospital, was my favorite. But they don't even have a doctor in the emergency room. How you not going to have a doctor in the emergency room? In the ER of all places? Well, really anywhere, but especially there. It's like, really? So anyway, God bless me. I was fine. The people sent me home. I was fine. They could have did a better job, but overall, God always take care of me. No matter how much mankind fails, God always take care of me. So I can't complain. So this ain't got nothing to do with God. I understand the way the world is, the way the world is run, and mainstream medicine. And so the Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil. And this is why we see the problems we see in medicine, mainstream medicine. The high cost of prescriptions, how prescriptions, if we're not careful, especially over time, they can do more harm than good. We have to be careful of that. They cause problems on their own. I take very little mainstream medicine, very little. Mainstream medicine, I take one over-the-counter medicine that can be prescription, maybe Tylenol, maybe aspirin as needed, and I also take alprazolam, which is Xanax as needed, which a 30-day supply many times lasts me 12 months. Just let you know how much I don't like taking it, but I only take it when I have to. Okay, so, which is rare. It's rare for me to need those. And so, but the mainstream medicine is like, there's just so many failures. And it's because of money. They don't want to pay their doctors. For instance, where I live. For instance, first of all, where you live, it could be better. I've been to some cities where they have great hospitals, just great all around. But that's not everywhere. And overall, it's a failure here in this country and around the world, mainstream medicine, because the focus is on profit. So they put profit above people. So thank God there has some laws have been passed where it's harder for them to do that, where they have to see you even if you don't have insurance. I remember there was a time, at least here where I live, there was a time where they wouldn't see you if you didn't have insurance. They didn't care if you were dying. So thank God for that. But there still are so many discrepancies. It's sad, especially when you can't see a doctor. Here where I live in Nevada, there's a politician. She's claiming that she's going to bring more doctors back to Nevada. And I'm like, okay, so it wasn't just my imagination that our doctors have left. But the question is, where are they gone? Where'd they go? I had one doctor here. She was very good. She was my doctor for about 20 years. And she would listen to me. She ran a lot of tests, which I wasn't too crazy about. But she would always listen to me. She treated me like a person, like a human being. You know, and so that's great. That's great, you know. But it's like, where are the doctors? They like her, I think they ran her off. Well, she's retired now. But even before then, it's like the medical profession here, or association, whatever, it's like they gave her a hard time. because she was a caring doctor and she would try to spend time with her patients. I don't know if a lot of people are aware or not, and I don't know if this is for all insurances, but did you know that your insurance only pays for your doctor to spend 5 or 10 minutes with you? This is why they run in and out. You ever wonder? I was always wondering why the doctor just in and out so fast. It's like they don't spend enough time to really so they could give you the proper care. And I couldn't find out that's why. Their insurance company only paid them for 5 minutes. That's ludicrous. That's crazy. That's not good. And so this is why so many of us suffer when we go to these doctors, and it's like, so I also went to this other doctor. I had another doctor appointment to get some more Xanax. So the lady, I go in there to talk to this doctor, and it's like, wow, she was trying to start an argument with me. I mean, she didn't even know how to communicate. She was kind of a younger woman, but it's like, wow. I mean, I had to really put on my best as a Christian to get out of her office through our meeting, which was only lasted like 10 minutes, without arguing with this woman. It's like, wow, she's very unprofessional, very uncaring, rude. And so just talking to her, it was just like, wow. So I was just looking at my husband. I always take my husband with me. When you go to the doctor, take someone with you if you can. They'll treat you better. But this lady is like, she didn't care. She was still rude. And I was just really trying to hold back. You know, I did hold back to not argue with this lady because she was crazy. It was rare. I think maybe once or one other time I ever been to a doctor that was causing an argument or something. And so, but yeah. And this place, the last place I went to get the Xanax refill, it's been a year, and she unpolitely reminded me that I can't do that. I can't wait a whole year. And so I told her, I said, well, I don't hardly take the medicine, so why do I need to keep coming back when, I didn't say what all I wanted to say, but what I really wanted to say was, but I didn't because I didn't want to cause an argument, trying to be a peacemaker, right? Christians are called to keep the peace, and so I'm pretty good at that most of the time. So anyway, so I'm just sitting there. I wanted to say, well, all you're going to do is sit here and write the prescription. It's not like you're going to sit here and actually do your job and listen to what's going on in my life. And then, the other thing I don't like when you go to these doctors, they have you fill out all this paperwork. Do you know they don't even read that paperwork? I really think it's there just in case if you want to sue them or something. So they'll have something to hold up in court. They don't even read it. Most of them, not saying all doctors, but most of them, they don't read. They only got 5-10 minutes with you. They don't have time to read this paper. They don't really care. They just want to write a prescription. That's not good medicine. It's just not. And so this why I'm a devout Christian. It's why I have God on my side. But I love people, and this is why I started my channel, God Given Health, because I want us to be aware of this craziness that's going on. I just want us to be aware of the craziness that's going on in this world, in medicine. And so that's why I talk about herbs and how they have helped me and which ones have helped me and my experiences. This is why I create this channel. It's a passion of mine. I care about people. I'm a devout Christian. I love people. I'm a empath, just very compassionate person in general. It's a gift from God. It's a gift from God. And so, yeah, and I can go on and on with some bad experiences with these doctors. Not nothing on my side, but just their failure. I remember one lady I went to, she wouldn't even give me any medicine at all. I can't remember what the problem was, but she told me, oh, because I can't diagnose you, I can't give you nothing. And she literally gave me nothing. I had never, ever been to a doctor that didn't at least write a prescription for some aspirin or something. This lady gave me nothing and sent me home. I, of course, never saw her again. And so it's like, wow. And so when we don't feel well and we go to the doctor, we're sensitive at that moment because we're down. And so we need compassionate doctors that will listen to what we have to say and not interrupt or be rude. And the last place I was telling you about with the lady that gave me the prescription for the Xanax, that actual facility, I went to the website after, a little too late, because I think I've been going over there about 2-3 years. I went to their website and looked up their reviews, Google reviews. They have a 2.2. After my review, they probably have a 1.9 or something like that, or just a straight 2. They had so many complaints on there. I cannot believe how many times people complained on the staff, everything, and they have not made any changes. Now, there was a doctor I was seeing over there before. She was a very good doctor, but she left. And I don't blame her. That place is, it's really bad. They really don't know what they're doing over there. And not only the complaints on the staff, it's also on the physicians, the doctors, the psychologists. And so this world is it's a mess. But God, this world is a mess, but God is so good. And so when we trust in God, people can fail all the time, but God will keep us. He will hold us up, because people will fail you. If no one's failed you yet, just keep living. I'm not saying people fail us on purpose, but it's just human nature. This is why we need Jesus. This is why God sent Christ. And so, so that's why I just want to share. That's why I don't like mainstream medicine, because they don't know what they're doing. And most of the prescriptions they've written for me, I feel worse, and I'm not taking something that's bloating me, making me gain 20-30 pounds, giving me headaches, hurting my back. I'm not taking that. I'm not taking nothing like that. And I don't. I just trust God, go to God in prayer. I try to find a herb to help. If I need to lose a few pounds or do whatever I need, drink some more water, whatever I need to do, I do. And I don't just accept what these people say all the time. I don't, because doctors are smart. I want to say that you have to be smart to be a doctor. But every doctor, they don't have common sense. Being intelligent and having common sense ain't the same thing. Common sense is a gift from God. It's called discretion. It's called wisdom and discretions. Anyone could be a mathematician and be good at algebra or geometry, trigonometry. You probably have to be able to do all that to be a doctor. But that doesn't mean you have common sense. And a lot of these doctors, how many, I don't know, but too many. I'll just say that. Too many of them, they don't have common sense. But God has blessed me to cross the path of some very good doctors that were very caring. They are out there, but they're hard to find. They're few and hard to find. And so, that's why I don't like going to doctors. And that's what happened to me recently. Just these experiences going to the doctor. It's like, you just can't, they won't even sit there and talk to you long enough. Can't nobody determine your health situation only 5-10 minutes? And then they run tests on you, which is great. But the tests don't work for everyone. When I went to the hospital the last time, I looked at all my blood work. And one of them, it was about my kidney function. And this one thing I just learned. This is a huge nugget of information. This right here, what I'm going to share with you. And I did not know this. According to the blood test, they were saying that, say for instance, I think it was my kidneys. And they said that a certain number that says your kidneys is normal. But in small, tiny print on the same paper, this is what they gave me at the hospital. It said, if the person is a female, to multiply by some other number, or if they're African American, to multiply by some other number. I'm like, what? I'm like, see, I knew this all along. I knew this, I think, a long time ago in Essence magazine. They said that the blood test, the test, and other tests that they use to determine whether we're well or not, or if we have a health problem or not, that the numbers it may be fine for certain people, mainly males or Caucasians, but it's not the same for everyone else. And so for us females and people of other races, the numbers don't match. So if the doctors say, oh, well, this is normal. No, it may not be normal for you. It's not normal for me. And so that's not good. And these doctors, the point is, this is good that they know this, but they don't tell you this. And I've been thinking this, suspicious that this is a problem when they be telling me they can't find none wrong. It's because, it's nothing wrong for another person, but for me, something's wrong. It's not in your head. And I don't know why they don't tell people this, because their insurance ain't paying them enough. Remember I was just telling you earlier, the love of money is the root of all evil. So it's all about money and profit. They're not going to take the time, an extra 5 or 10 minutes to tell you, or to pay attention to say, yeah, this says 60 is normal, but not for you. And so this is why a lot of people walking around are getting sick, and some of them are dying. The doctors telling them they couldn't find nothing wrong. Wrong test. Or wrong numbers. They're not evaluating the numbers, analyzing the numbers properly for you. And so especially as women, we want to be careful and cautious and cognizant of this, because no one goes to the doctor more than we do, and we're smart to go to the doctors and get checkups and all that. And so I think I never say don't get, me and my husband, we get our wellness, his job, we have to go get blood work and everything at least once a year. We have to do this for his insurance. And that's fine. I have no problem with that. But I just want us to be aware, these people are not God. They're just humans, just like us. They went to school, might be a little quicker learners and interested in medicine. But we can take care of ourselves with God-given herbs that I talk about here on this channel. We can take care of ourselves if we pay attention and just take care of ourselves. Pay attention. Keep a journal of your health, what you eat, medicines you take. That's how I do. I write everything down. So if something happens, I'm like, I can look on the paper and say, oh, okay, I see. I took that. And then I had a reaction. So I know not to take it anymore. And so, these people, this world. I don't want to say these people, but this world. This world is a mess. It's going to always be a mess. And so, but God is good. He takes care of us. He is always taking care of me through all the crazy stuff. And whenever I really, really need to get diagnosed with something, it happens. I get diagnosed. May not be when I want it, but always come at the right time. And even I notice, even if they don't, even the doctor say, well, we can't find out what's wrong, I leave with a smile on my face. You know why? Because then I know for sure God gonna heal me. He ain't got no choice but to heal me, because God is love, God is good. And they can't find what's wrong. Jesus said those who are sick see a doctor, see a physician. Well, I did what God said do. I saw a doctor. They said they can't find nothing wrong. So guess what, God? You got to heal me. And he does. If he don't heal me, it's like the problem ain't there. But he has healed me over and over again from head to toe. I can't count how many times God has healed me. And I have a lot of health problems, as I mentioned before, because I was abused growing up and I was raised in poverty. Poverty, when you're not raised, where you're not eating fruit and vegetables and you're eating like just bread, white bread. They say eat white bread the sooner you're dead. This is what I heard this nutritionist say. Eat white bread the sooner you're dead. So I avoid white bread as much as possible. Basically, almost all bread, cornbread included. Even though I love them, I eat them. I'm not saying we should never eat them. But our society, just the food industry is... I just saw this documentary. I just watched a piece of it. I think it's called While We Are Dying. Whilst We Die, or something like that, hosted by Jeffrey Wright, I think that's his name, on Vice channel. Man, they're really going into some deep stuff on that, including the pharmacy, the medical industry, just on and on. Man, they're really going deep into even the food industry and how corrupt it is. And it's true. A lot of us don't want to hear, but it's true. And it shouldn't make us depressed, just make us aware so we can take care of ourselves. So we can take better care of ourselves and not be deceived. And so, this world is a mess, but God is good. And I'm just glad God's taking care of me over and over again. And he will take care of you as well. Just trust him, have faith, believe. And just, follow the Holy Spirit. Do what he say. That's what I do. I just do whatever God tried to tell me to do. And if I struggle with it, I just ask him to help me and forgive me. And he does, and he have. That's all I just want to say. I just want to tell you what happened to me and how this world's just crazy. And but we have to keep the peace. I'm a peacemaker. I don't go around causing trouble. So I'm not naive. I don't live with my head under the sand. I wasn't born yesterday. I've been through a whole lot, and that just gives God more of a bigger opportunity to use me. And that's all I'm doing. I'm just a vessel of God. I love people. I love helping people, and I love God, and I know He loves and cares about us. And I, like God, I hate seeing people suffer, especially with medical problems. And so that's why I started this channel, God Given Health. And I encourage you to subscribe and follow along here. And so if you had any bad experience or whatever, write it down, comment. I want to know what happened. And if you need prayers or anything, let me know. Email me, terrytemple7@gmail.com. You can even text me if you want, 702-785-1884. I do screen my calls, but I love receiving emails. Facebook, my messages are just on overload. So many of them. It's hard for me to keep up, but I read my emails every day. And of course, check my text messages. So yeah, just if you have anything, just let me know what's going on. Share below. I really want to hear from you all. I love hearing from you all, and that's a blessing when we share what we've been through and we comfort other people so they can know that they're not alone. And it comforts me too when I know I'm not alone. But I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not, and that's why I'm sharing this information, because I know I'm not alone going through this, and I hear stories, on how our medical system is here, here in the United States, and I know around the world it's even worse. I heard a lady in Canada, it was a while ago, I chatted with a lady in Canada, and she told me it's worse over there. And so, but anyway, so yeah, that's all I want to share with you today. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. Chat with you later. Thanks for listening. Stay in touch. Bye-bye.